Now we're taking a look at transposition in chapter 4, and we're going to look at example 3a on page 96. And the instructions tell us here to play the last 4 bars in the key of G major. So that means we're going to actually play the first line in the original key, in D flat major. Okay? So I'm going to write this here. We're going to be in D flat major. And then we're going to transpose to G major. Okay, so make a clear note for yourself here. Now, just to remind you, to refresh your memories on how to perform transpositions, what we do is we determine scale degrees. That's all we have to do. It's actually a very easy exercise. Okay? So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to analyze the chords in the left hand. So we're in D flat major. If we look at the first chord, D flat, F, A flat, well, that's a 1 chord. Next chord, D flat, G flat, B flat. Give you a moment to think about it. It is a 4-6-4 chord, a 4 chord in second inversion. If we go to the next measure, it goes back to the 1 chord, and the final measure goes to a 5-6-5. That's a 5-7 chord in first inversion. Now, you know I'm a fan of writing lead sheet symbols in, so let's do that as well. So the lead sheet symbols here will be D flat for 1 chord. A 4 chord will be G flat over the bass note, which is D flat. Back to the 1 chord, which is D flat, and to the 5-6-5, which is an A flat 7 over the bass note, which is C. So that's the lead sheet symbols there. Okay, so far so good. With this information, we can play the left hand pretty easily. This is basically a D flat cadence in the left hand with a 5-6-5 at the end. So let's try the left hand together. D flat cadence. Okay, so D flat FA. Then to the 4 chord, D flat, G flat, B flat. Back to the 1 chord, D flat, F, A flat. To the 5-6-5, which will be C, D flat, A flat. Just like that. So that's what we have. And you can do that several times until it's pretty smooth for you. And that's the left hand in the first 4 bars. Now let's take a look at the left hand in the next 4 bars. We're going to analyze the chords again. If we look at it, it's a 1 chord because it's originally written in D flat, so that's a 1 chord. Then it goes to a 4 chord again. This is the 4-6-4, just like we had. And look, it's the 5-6-5 again, and then now it goes to the 1. So it's the same chords, slightly different order. Now here's the really cool part, why lead sheet symbols are so helpful here. If we're in the key of G, all we have to do is figure out what the 1 chord is in G major. Well, guess what? You all know what a G major cadence is. Okay, so let's write the notes down. This is going to be a G chord, the lead sheet symbols, because we're in G major. A 4 chord in G major, well, that's a C major chord over G, since it's second inversion. The 5 chord is going to be a D7 over F sharp. F sharp, C, D. And then it goes back to G major again. Brilliant. So now let's try playing the left hand in G major. So we have it in the G major cadence. So here we go. Don't even bother looking at the music. Look at your lead sheet symbols instead. Okay? Or the Roman numerals. Here we go. 1 chord, 4 chord. Then to the 5-7, which is F sharp, C, D. And back to the 1 chord. Let's do that again. 1 chord, 4 chord, 5-6-5, and back to the 1 chord. Once you have that, let's do both lines. So you're going to start in D flat, then on bar after bar 4, you're going to transpose to the key of G major. So D flat major, here we go. D flat, F, A flat, left hand by itself, 1 chord. Now go to the 4 chord, D flat, G flat, B flat. Back to the 1 chord, D flat, F, A flat. Down to the 5, 6, 5, C, G flat, A flat. Now transpose up to G major, 1 chord. 4 chord, 5, 6, 5, F sharp, C, D. And back to the 1 chord. And that's the left hand. So get comfortable with that first, and then you can continue with this video. So now let's take a look at the right hand. Okay. So how do we transpose a melody? Well, we do it by determining the scale degrees. Okay. So that's what I'm going to write. I'm going to go through here and write the actual scale degrees. So in the beginning, we're in D flat major. So this is actually the first scale degree, third scale degree, fifth scale degree, fourth scale degree, fourth scale degree, third, fifth, and second scale degrees. If we look at the second line, let's do that. First scale degree, third scale degree, fifth scale degree, sixth scale degree, then back to the fourth scale degree, and then fifth scale degree, fourth scale degree, third, second, and first scale degree. Next, I'm going to write in my finger numbers. So we start on the top line. We find the parameters. Lowest note is D flat, highest note is A flat, which means we'll just be in D flat position, D flat, E flat, F, G flat, A flat. So the finger numbers is going to coincide with the scale degrees here. 1, 3, 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, 5, 5, 2. Let's try that together. So first, put your right hand in D flat position. You can play a D flat major pentachord to start. And here we go. 2, ready, and 1, 2, 3, 5, 4, 2, 4, and 3, 3, 5, 5, 2. Okay. Now, on the next system, bar 5, we are transposing to the key of G major. So let's determine what these notes are actually going to be, what position we're going to be in. So it starts on the first scale degree. So that's going to be the first scale degree in G now, which happens to be the note G. Okay, so we're going to use our thumb on G. And now, she actually gives us some indication on the finger numbers to start with, 1, 2, 4. But the notes are going to be the first, third, and fifth scale degrees of G major, which is G, B, D. Okay, then we're going to go to fifth finger, and then back to fourth finger, and then we just have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. All right. So to do this, let's work this backwards. Let's do the last two measures. Right there. And we're in G position now, so put your right hand in G major position. And this is going to be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, because it's the fifth scale degree, which is D. Okay, so we play that together, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, that's easy. Let's add in the previous note. That's the fourth scale degree. Well, the fourth scale degree in G major is 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a C. So we have a C, then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Simple. Now let's go ahead and do the first section of that line. We start with our thumb on the first scale degree, which is a G. But then here's the one tricky thing. You have to move your second finger up to the third scale degree, which is B. So it's 1, then second finger on B, fourth finger on D, then fifth finger on E. So let's just try that much. So you'll have G, B, D, Try that with me. Here we go. G2, B, D, E. Okay, one more time, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Then you're going to shift your fourth finger down to the C, which is the fourth scale degree of G, C. Then you'll have D, C, B, A, G. Okay. So let's try the whole line. 2, ready, play. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, stretch down to C, then step down, D, C, B, A, G. Once you're really comfortable with your right hand as well, then try the first line hands together and then the second line hands together, and then we can put the whole thing together. Let's try it together. So this is the top line. Left hand is in D flat major position, so D flat, F, A flat. Right hand thumb is on middle D flat position, and it's just the pentachord. Let's try playing this. 2, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4 chord. 1, 2, 3. Back to the 1 chord. 3, 3, 5 to the 5, 6, 5, 1. So that's the first line. Try that a few times until that's smooth. Now, let's take a look at the last 4 bars here. So, let's try this. The left hand is in G major position now. The right hand is also in G position, but remember you have to stretch your second finger to the B, fourth finger on the D, and then fifth finger on the E in the beginning. Let's try this second line. 2, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4 chord. 1, stretch down to fourth finger on C, and then back to 5, 6, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 to the 1 chord. Once you're comfortable with both lines, then you can try both of them together with me without stopping. From the beginning. 2, and here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Shift up to G. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, fourth finger down to C. 5, 6, 5, left 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll see you in the next video.